throws well, deceptive strength, and the footwork is really solid.
Hey, what's going on everybody? Scott here from 4K Gaming. Thanks very much for joining us. As you can see, we're playing NBA2k14, another episode of a career mode. I think we're on the bench. I haven't actually seen the starting lineup yet. I believe we'll be on the bench. Last game we got a fair amount of playtime, actually, more than I was expecting. We didn't make that much of a contribution, although we did have a couple of moments that set us up for this game. So hopefully the coach has said that he's going to play us a little bit more. So fingers crossed that will happen. And we'll see how we get on.
Well, probably the right play defensively. If you can't get the block, send them to the free throw line. Don't give them an easy two.
No easy buckets inside.
Skip over to sorry, I was just sending out a tweet. If you're not following us at 4K Gaming, then you won't know what it said. Please do so if you're not. And just while we're on the subject, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, thanks very much for joining us. Please hit the subscribe button and like button and leave some comments. And let's see if we can get some game time. Here we go. Oh, we're getting well and truly spanked in the first quarter. I'm not allowed to give away time.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Sullinger passes to Rondo. This is to Sullinger. Now Humphries inside. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep,
I've just given away. I haven't given away the ball, but I have given away 2 points for the basket and foul. So, there we go.
Blowout in store.
Too early to say that and go there, Steve, but it has been pretty ugly so far. And what a game for Humphries. Already up to 9 points, and he's added to his totals by picking up 3 points at the line as well.
Yeah, and that's something that's important for him and his team. Getting a few extra points, knocking those free throws down, and helping your team any way you can.
And that one goes long. And for Humphries, a tough season. He fell in and out of the rotation.
And he's been pretty consistent over the last 5, maybe 6 seasons. So we'll see if he's able to return to his normal numbers where he's a starting caliber big man.
Here's Rondo, and the rejection by Favors. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
And they'll come into this one with some confidence. Last season, they swept the season series, winning both matchups.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Tyrone Corbin was going over with his team. It sounds like he's willing to take drastic measures to ensure they don't give up too many inside points. His message was collapse in the middle, even if it means leaving gaps on the perimeter. Well, it hasn't been pretty so far, but with those changes being made and the game plan still in the opening stages, they could easily turn things around. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. Both of these teams, Clark, battled for playoff spots in their conference.
Kevin, every game is big to a team on the edge of playoff contention, Kevin. That's a whole different mindset than either of the extremes. The end of your season is kind of like a mini playoff in and of itself. Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
Yeah, and even though it's early, I mean, that's a great sign for them for the rest of the game.
Burke dishes to Burks. Lock at 6. And he gets the bucket.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Utah comes into this one after the win against the Brooklyn Nets.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team, guys. They never allowed any momentum to build up against them. It seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. They had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Well, let's take a look at where Boston ended up, Kevin, last year in the league rankings. 6th in shooting percentage, 6th in free throw percentage. And they were top 10 in opponent field goal percentage. That's a good indicator of a team getting it done defensively.
And you talked about the shooting in the top 10 in the league in terms of field goal percentage. And that really bodes well when you're a team that's trying to play together. I thought this team was really well coached. They worked the ball offensively to find good shots. And for most of the season, they looked like one of the best shooting teams in the league to me.
On defense, Boston. It's a 10-point game. Williams, that's a two-pointer. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead.
I'm not really getting anywhere near the ball, but I did just
left to
manage to
play in the
push
first
someone over,
quarter.
which I'm taking as a small victory.
Lee off a pick from Olynyk. And Bass kicks to Crawford. Bass with a screen for Crawford. To the paint, up off the screen. Bass can't get it to go. Jefferson with it. He's picked up by Lee. Outside Jefferson. Passes it to the machine. Shot is no good. Nice D from Olynyk.
Steve, they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass today.
Yeah, it's impressive, too. Clark's already gotten them a +5 margin.
Just ghosted inside.
And
Ran past
indication
me,
there
ghosted
of why
inside,
the
and
scoreboard
dunked.
looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Shots good by Williams.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Celtics leading by 7. Crawford passes to Olynyk. Back to Crawford. Olynyk sets a screen for Crawford. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. Crawford, no luck. Jazz trail by 7. Williams a screen on Wallace. Jefferson with it, and it's Wallace picking him up. Jefferson dishes to Williams. Outside for Jefferson. Here's Burke. And it's off from three-point range. Boston's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. Here's Olynyk, and he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws. First trip to the line for him here.
Really what we were hoping for, but
No good on the free
hopefully
throw.
close the
And
gap
Utah
by
making a change here.
a couple of points from the looks of things. And I'm back on the bench. The end of the first quarter there. So we're back in the second.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Kicks it to Sullinger.
I do that an awful lot. I don't know why I thought he was going to. I don't know why I thought he was going to shoot.
Yeah,
He's
you think
always going to run.
would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff,
It's not
Kevin,
ideal.
but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. Speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. Marshawn Brooks is out there with Green, and it's Sullinger in at the 5 spot. That's the Boston 5. Celtics leading by 6.
Guys, there were a lot of questions about what went wrong for Utah last year as they saw themselves slip from a middle-of-the-pack playoff team to being on the outside looking in at the playoffs. One reason was their play on the road.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Burke, the pass to the machine. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. As you said with the Jazz last year, getting wins on the road a big problem for them, and they just couldn't keep up in that category.
Not quite so good with the
Other
timing at
teams
this moment in
vying
time.
for a playoff spot.
Yeah, they finished 13 and 28 on the road, and that was what kept them out of the postseason. They just have to improve in that regard this year if they're going to get into the playoffs.
He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and it's Green with the jam.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Jazz trail by 9. Burke kicks to Burks. Burke dishes to Hayward. Feeds it to Burks. 6 to shoot. Here's Favors. Drops in the layup for 2. Favors has got 4 this quarter.
In the first, he had trouble hitting with any consistency. But here in the second, he's turned it around.
Rondo passes to Sullinger. Back to Rondo. inside.
Oh, I couldn't move, and he's in to score again. Really not helping my team defensively.
Assist of the game with that last one. Burke kicks to Burks. Pass to Burke. They set the pick, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. 5th, the Jazz.
They've got a number of guys that can deny you when you take that ball inside.
Quite
That's why
I'm
they're
still
one
on
of
the
the best
court.
shot blocking teams in the league. At least they were last year, because they worked well together and they made it a priority.
Sullinger dishes to Bradley, and it's Boston with another. Here's Burke. 17 points for him last game against the Nets in Brooklyn.
Did a great job picking the defense apart, too. It wasn't just his scoring. Give him credit for his passing in that game, too.
Here's Burks. Nails it from the high post. Burks has got 6.
Boy, they really started to come on here in the second.
Playing much better here, guys, and it looks like they're starting to make up some ground. We'll see if that can continue.
Well, guys, Alec Burks out of Colorado is an athletic slasher with a nice tight handle. He was taken 12th overall back in 2011. Still young and developing, and I think he has tremendous upside.
I'm on a D+. I've not seen that before.
Burke, the pass to the machine. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Really, they've backed off of working it inside. I mean, they haven't gotten it inside as much as they did earlier in the game, and I think they've got to get back to that.
Keith Bogan, he's checked in for Rajon Rondo. That free throw good from the machine. And for Alec Burks, it took him a while to get into the rotation with the Utah Jazz, but the injuries they dealt with provided him with an opportunity later in the season.
Well, he's always been a very athletic guard, and he showed some improvement last year on his long-range shot. I think that's been the biggest weakness for him, but if he can hit that shot consistently, he's going to be tough to keep off the floor.
58 seconds left in the first half. The dish now to Burke. The pass to the machine.
That foul is really going to hurt him in the second half. I mean, he's got to sit and may have to be off the floor for a long time, and they'll miss everything he brings to their team. I mean, he's active. He's
Impressively
aggressive,
wayward.
He's smart. He's tough. I mean, they're going to miss his presence significantly.
Chris Humphries has checked in for Sullinger.
That's
Not that time either.
Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East to middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your shoes and the banners
annihilated.
over top.
Very well executed pick to give him all
Deep.
kinds of space to get that one off.
Burks kicks to Evans. For 3, Hayward. Rebounded by the Celtics. Humphries has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. And that one's good. Brooks.
Boy, what a
Destroying
significant
us out there.
turnaround here in the second quarter after only making 40% from the field in the first.
Burke kicks to Burks. He feeds it to Burke. And they get it. And he hits the jump shot. Burks got 5 points so far. From midcourt, shot is off. And so we conclude the first half. Celtics lead by 13. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Coach, I know you're going to be making some changes in the second half, maybe get a different look out there. What were your concerns with the way you played in the first half?
Well, we got to make sure we pick our tempo up a little bit. We're not getting what we want on offensive end, and they get what they want on this side. Uncontested shots, getting drives to the basket. We got to pick our aggression up.
Coach, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, we'll see if they can...
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
I wouldn't be surprised to be on the bench for the majority of this half after what was a very poor performance. So
and a lovely
see how we get
nighttime
on.
view of downtown Boston, the modern Athens, as we welcome you back. It's been a clinic out there by Jared Sullinger.
Yeah, he played a very...
We're in. Really know how.
Jazz trail by 15, and so in the game for the Jazz, the machine, he's in at center. Rush out there with Alec Burks. Then it's Jefferson, and it's Evans in at the 4 slot. Plenty of daylight on that shot. Jefferson's got 5 now.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Crawford gets a screen from Bass. He used that pick to get in close. And it's 7 points for Crawford.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Here's Burks. Sullinger with the rebound.
Really high-quality shot there. Just a little off with his release.
That miss right there will definitely leave him shaking his head.
Lee with the ball. Now guarded by Rush. Lee kicks to Bogans. Can't get it to go.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Rush the pass to the machine. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Fortunately, I can't
and so he's picked up his final foul.
Like
and he will sit for the rest of this game. And he can't get the first one.
Yeah, he missed that one there, but I like how he's been aggressive getting to the line, Kevin. You get free throws and you put defenders in foul trouble.
Celtics leading by 13. Crawford outside. Burks with the steal. Here's Burke. Good D by Lee. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back.
Coming up next Monday night, November 11th.
Now, and how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
This was a showstopper, wasn't it? Just a difficult pass to make, and he makes it flawlessly. Just set up that alley-oop.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad, I'll grant you.
Now Crawford, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the 4th quarter. On the floor for Boston, Jordan Crawford out there with Lee. Then it's Chris Humphries. Then there's Green, and it's Brooks in at the 3 spot.
Now in the lineup for the Jazz.
Green with the ball. Favors picks him up. Green dishes to Brooks. Rejected by Rush. They recover it. Just 5 to shoot. Crawford drives in, and he makes good on the layup. Crawford's got the 4th quarter started here with a bucket for the Celtics.
Just another outstanding play down low. These teams couldn't be farther apart in their effectiveness in the paint today.
Yeah, that's right. It's been all good at one end, and we'll try to be diplomatic here and just say not so good at the other.
Over to the wing. Now here's Burks. 8 feet away, and that one's good. 4th quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Lee outside. Now Humphries inside. That one goes.
Oh, I couldn't move.
Humphries has got 19 points.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying them up.
Yeah, they're getting outclassed in the paint at both ends, really.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt.
Oh, damn you,
what's
Twitter.
coming up for the Utah Jazz. They get to take on the Bulls in Chicago after this one. That is game 3 of this 4-game trip.
A lot of attention on the Nuggets. You know, that Denver game really is interesting to watch.
The Jazz making a switch here. Burks with the steal. And now Utah, fast break. Humphries.
Oh, good Lord.
Humphries has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Rondo kicks to Humphries. Trying to find Bradley. Gets it to him. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Celtics leading by 15. outside Rondo. Crawford outside. Rondo passes to Humphries, and the shot is good. Humphries has
Not
got
convinced
10
that was
points
all
here in
my
the
fault,
second
but
half.
yeah, it put me
They're
down for
forcing the
some
ball inside.
more bad points.
And it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
The machine passes to Burke. Here's the machine. Lays it up and banks it in.
Nice touch near the hoop.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Crawford kicks to Rondo. Now here is Humphries. Tight defense on him. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
All alone. He squares up and sinks it. Burks has got 4 points this quarter.
Solid screen right there that freed him up for the jump shot.
Rondo kicks to Crawford. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to go on Alec Burks.
You know, Jordan Crawford was dealt from the Wizards to the Boston Celtics last season, guys, and that very well could be a good situation for him. He's a talented player who I think just needs a little more discipline defensively, and with his shot selection, he'll be fine.
And he makes the first. And Clark, you mentioned Jordan Crawford has been a gunner thus far in his career. And for his career, just to point out the numbers, about 40% from the field, and Steve, from beyond the three-point line, about 30%.
Well, the next shot he passes up will be the first one, Kevin. but I enjoy watching him play. I mean, the guy has unlimited confidence. He's got great range on his shot. You know, when he gets it rolling, he can really catch fire. Another good look there, and that's his second three-pointer of the game.
Rondo dishes to Crawford. Fires from 14. Humphries with the bucket. Humphries has got 12 points here in the second half.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Burks the pass to Favors. For 3, Hayward, and Utah another 3.
Yeah, something that makes him
What
hard
we
to
need.
defend is his ability to receive a pass and get off an accurate shot in one quick, fluid motion. So you better beware of where he is on the floor at all times.
One of the premier catch-and-shoot guys in the league, Steve. There's no question about it.
Jazz trail by 11. Here's Burks. And the lead is down inside single digits. Burks has got 6 here in this quarter.
Unstoppable offense from both teams. I love the pace this game has been played at.
So does everybody else in the building. This has been a fun one.
Humphries, no good. And it's the Jazz's ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Burks kicks to Hayward. Again, the Jazz score.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark. I mean, they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
Now Humphries inside, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness
back
to go
on the
after
bench.
the block.
I think that's probably
So it's the Boston Celtics with the W.
another loss, unfortunately. But
Respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
it was a reasonable performance, I thought. In the second half, I got back into it a little
We'll
bit.
do it for now.
Second
For
half.
Doris Burke, Steve Curry,
Um,
Clark Kellogg, and the rest
But
of the 2K
there you go,
Sports
there's
crew.
another loss. Thanks
This is
very much
Kevin Harlan
for
saying
joining
thanks
us.
for joining us.
Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, where you can see all of our other videos, catch up on the other series that we have. And please follow us on Twitter at 4K Gaming. Thanks very much.